ACMi productions are only made possible with your support. Visit patreon.com/ACMi to learn how you can help. The following program is brought to you by Arlington Community Media, where we tell your story.
Protests grow in response to the actions of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. The first ever Ramadan market is held in Arlington, and the Council on Aging holds an in-depth information session for seniors.
From McLennan Park to Spy Pond, from Poets Corner to the Mystic River, we have Arlington covered, giving you stories that count from people who care. Reliable, trustworthy, dependable. This is the nationwide award-winning ACMi News.
Hello everyone, I'm James Milan and welcome back to ACMi News. It has been a little while and we are delighted to be back with you. Thousands of organizers across all 50 states called for a national shutdown day on Friday, January 30th. Activists encouraged citizens to avoid going to work, attending school, and spending money in any capacity. Local businesses closed their doors and vigils were held for those who lost their lives. The movement gained momentum in the wake of multiple deaths associated with actions of ICE agents, with protests continuing the following day on the Boston Common. ACMi News producer Josh Gishri was on the ground in Copley Square for the shutdown in downtown Boston.
Tensions across the nation continue to rise in the wake of the tragic deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. In response, activists throughout the country have urged citizens to put pressure on the U.S. government.
On January 30th, a national shutdown was called for by numerous organizations, including Massachusetts' own Boston Party for Socialism and Liberation and Mass 50501, which held a protest in Copley Square.
People want you to be afraid to show up, and it's more important now than ever, because if not complying is a death sentence, you don't have any freedoms at all, and so it's important to keep showing up and showing that we as a community are not afraid.
Working class solidarity is needed, because ultimately ICE is going to come. They already have come to East Boston and Chelsea and those areas. They're going to come here in full force. What we got to do, we got to organize. And so we have to spread this system, spread this word of a general strike from Minneapolis to Boston, Arlington, all over the country in order to shut everything down, because we have the power to do that. And it's more necessary than ever, because we can't let this administration get away with all of this. We have to fight back. We have to mobilize.
Anti-ICE protests continue the following day.
Saturday, January 31st, 2026. Despite the cold weather, the Boston Common filled with supporters frustrated by the actions of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency.
If George Washington could cross the Delaware in wool and a wig, then we can all be out here in thermals and down jackets and whatever.
People are tired, they're fed up, and I think all of us understand that it's going to take us pushing back and not being silent about these things. That will be the only line of defense against more and more people being harmed, kidnapped, and dying because of ICE.
Young and old came out to support, including professional mural artist David Fichter, who rode the train from Cambridge to Park Street with this 5-foot hand-painted sign.
I feel like, this is like Germany just before, the Nazis took power. If you're not there on this, pushing back, we won't have an ability to push back later.
I think it's cold outside. I think, though, that the fire that people have, and that I personally have, to fight this and to not go silently and to not allow it to continue to happen, is what heats us and what keeps us warm. I think while it's cold out here for us, there are so many more people going through such more traumatic and awful things. And, I think that's the place where we can kind of see our privilege in all this, and how we can hopefully use it for good and to speak up for people.
Despite changes to the administration of ICE, including the removal of Greg Bovino as the Border Control Commander, people across the country continue to demand accountability for the deaths of U.S. citizens. We'll keep you updated on the story as things continue to heat up for ICE. For ACMi News, I'm Josh Gishri.
ACMi News will continue to monitor and cover this continually evolving situation. February 17th marks the first day of the Islamic holy month of Ramadan. The ninth month of the Islamic calendar, Ramadan is most commonly associated with the practice of fasting, with healthy Muslim practitioners abstaining from most foods from sunup to sundown. But Ramadan is also meant to be a time of self-reflection and community, and the organization Muslims in Arlington hosted their first ever market to focus on just that.
Ahead of the Muslim festival of Ramadan, friends and family gathered at the Calvary United Methodist Church in East Arlington.
This is the first ever Ramadan market in Arlington. We created Muslims in Arlington about 2 years ago, or maybe 3, right after COVID when everybody was, locked up. We were trying to find a community, and I decided, honestly, in December, I was going to a bunch of holiday markets and realized there's nothing for Ramadan. So I walked out of one of the markets and I said, that's it, I'm doing it. And it seems to be going really well. I just really wanted to create community, and that's how it happened.
I feel like people are generally seeking out a lot more events around this season because they know more people will be coming out to the mosques and other various events. So similarly, we did the same thing. We were looking for ways that we could be more present in the community around other Muslims and other Dissis.
Seeing the community from kids to adults from different backgrounds coming together at the Calvary United Church was wonderful. But one question lingered. Why was the Ramadan market held in a church?
There isn't a mosque in Arlington, right? But the Unitarian Church has always been so lovely and welcoming that I reached out, and the coordinator here said, of course you can do this. We have time and we welcome any community members to come and join and, just have their events. So this felt like a really safe space.
The market was in full bloom, from booths selling juice and baked goods to gold jewelries and handmade prints. People were coming together to enjoy the holiday, to meet new people, or to catch up with friends and family. But the strongest uniting force for everyone was their solidarity with Palestine.
The Arlington for Palestine folks, I reached out to them years ago. I've been a part of their group for a while, and they've been doing some wonderful community work and just awareness of what's going on in the rest of the world. So having these organizations come and represent, I think means a lot. And it helps us who are more fortunate to see, well, we can do something about it. A lot of people think I'm one person, I'm not going to do anything. But you can tell from all of this, it doesn't matter. One person can really do a lot of change.
I connected with a group on the North Shore of Massachusetts called Art for Palestine, and they also go to craft fairs with wares from a bunch of different artists, and all of those proceeds go to families in Gaza. And that's how I started getting into going to craft fairs and not just selling things through Instagram.
After hearing Hina talk about how the Ramadan market was created and the wonderful cause everyone was fighting for, we went around and happened upon 2 young and motivated entrepreneurs selling bracelets and small trinkets.
I'm 12 and she's 11. We're in 7th and 6th grade. So we started about 2 years ago, and we started making bracelets, and then we realized that we wanted to take it professionally. So we started selling them, and it's been going well ever since. Her mom actually has a candle business, and she got invited here, so she asked if we could come sell here too. Yeah. So we came to sell here.
Concluding the first showing for the Ramadan market in a space like the Calvary United Church, Hina gave us some insight on what to expect next year.
It's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and I'm going to get the word out. I'm going to start tomorrow. I can't tell you how excited I am that this came together the way that it did. And like you said, you can feel it. You can feel some kind of an energy in the room that people are excited. They're happy to be out, and building more relationships. So next year, just, we're going to have a bigger space. I know it. I can't wait.
That place was hopping. We look forward to charting the Ramadan market's ongoing expansion next year and beyond. In the fall of 2024, we visited the Mandarin classes taught at the Ottoson Middle School by Na Lu Hogan. We were there to highlight the impressive progress students were making in this most difficult language under Na's tutelage, and also to celebrate her award for Teacher of the Year in Massachusetts. In the year and a half since, Na Lu Hogan's students continue to demonstrate remarkable proficiency in Mandarin. They were invited to participate in this year's Lunar New Year celebration, but are unable to be there in person. So, with ACMi's assistance, they made a video to be shown at the celebration on Saturday, February 14th. Students and Ms. Lou Hogan discussed a number of traditions connected with the Lunar New Year, including why Chinese people like to wear red to drive away the monster neon and to attract good luck, and why elderly people in China give children red packets with money to celebrate the occasion. At the end, Ms. Lou Hogan and the students were joined by Ottoson's principal and an assistant principal, and together they wished everyone who celebrates the holiday a happy Lunar New Year. And we do too. In line with its mission to provide services and advocacy to Arlington's elders, the Council on Aging recently offered an in-person clinic addressing property tax relief programs, reverse mortgages, and more. Residents had the chance to ask questions and hear from a local elder law attorney, the director of the town's assessor's office, and the executive director of the COA herself.
We are here at the Arlington Community Center for a crucial informational session hosted by the Council on Aging. As property taxes and housing costs continue to be a top concern for our senior neighbors, local experts, including the Director of Assessors and an elder law attorney, have gathered today to discuss property tax relief, deferrals, and the complexities of reverse mortgages. Our goal today is to see how these programs can help our seniors stay in their homes and maintain financial security. Let's head inside and hear from the experts. On February 3rd, the Arlington Community Center hosted a crucial informational session to address these very challenges. The event, organized by the Council on Aging, brought together local experts, including the Director of Assessors, Dana Mann, and an elder law attorney, Alex Michella.
The first thing that every senior should do, every senior who's interested in tax exemptions, should look for this program every January. The state has established that April 1st is the due date for all exemptions, and that is very important, because without a timely exemption application, we really can't do anything for you.
So the purpose of this overview of like what is a reverse mortgage is to just give you a highlight of the pros and cons and to try to change our thinking around it. And those older adults, like myself, who are aging, can look at that house a little bit differently if they feel they have little, if any, peace of mind financially.
The discussion delved into the complexities of property tax relief programs, tax deferrals, and the often misunderstood world of reverse mortgages.
What really inspired this program today is just us trying to give the residents of Arlington the information that they were, really asking us for, which comes frequently through our office, is, what property tax relief programs do you have? What are some ways that I can stay living in Arlington and keep my home? So we put together this program, which talks about all of the different tax relief options for their property taxes, specifically a state program, and then the reverse mortgages that Alex spoke about.
The room was filled with residents seeking clarity of how these financial tools could serve as a roadmap for their future life. For many attendees, the opportunity to ask direct questions and pick up applications was a vital first step in feeling more confident about navigating a complex financial landscape.
Our Council of Aging is extremely helpful for people of all ages after you retire. There's such complexity to the tax laws, whether it's deferments, whether it's these reverse mortgages, and a milieu of things, that you can talk it through with the incredible director and people here, and they help form a link between here and the tax office, the assessor's office, so that it's less complex.
Property taxes are definitely something that affect the well-being of, I would say, everybody, but especially people that are older and aging here in Arlington. Financial security is very important in quality of life, and being able to afford expenses, which, if you own a home, includes property taxes. So we like to try to educate people on the things that they might qualify for that might help them decrease that burden for them.
While the session provided immediate answers, the Council on Aging emphasizes that help remains available year-round. For those who couldn't attend, the mission continues, ensuring every senior in Arlington has the resources they need to thrive.
It's clear from today's turnout that these financial tools are more than just policy. They are essential resources for the Arlington community, from understanding the legal nuances of tax deferral to learning how to apply for local exemption. Today's session provided a roadmap for residents to navigate a complex financial landscape. If you missed today's event, applications and informational packets are available at the COA office right here in the Community Center. Reporting for ACMi News, I'm Josh Gishri. Back to you in the studio.
The Arlington Philharmonic Orchestra took center stage at Arlington High School on Sunday, February 8th. Music director Orlando Sella presented Armenia, a collection of pieces by Armenian composers, including Arlington's own Alan Hovhaness. The concert, live-streamed by ACMi, was a love letter to the community.
There is so much connection to, not only the Armenian community, but Alan Hovhaness attended the high school. So, this is almost like bringing him back home in a way. It's personal and global as well. So, to me, doing it here, it couldn't have been done anywhere else to have an impact like today. Yeah. We're coming to the 250th anniversary of the United States. And the U.S. received a lot of immigrants. The Armenian population, they found a home here. So in a way, I saw that not as they living somewhere, but they arriving here. That's what I thought Hovhaness was saying with the last glorious chords, like we found a home.
To experience the beauty of Armenia, watch the full concert on ACMi's YouTube channel. We turn now our attention from Arlington to a selection of headlines from around the world. A visit by Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama to Zambia sparked a viral social media debate due to his choice of outfit. The president wore a traditional fugu, a cotton poncho-like top, which was mocked online. After the criticism, Ghana's tourism minister decided to designate Wednesdays as Fugu Day, encouraging citizens to take pride in their cultural identity. And in a heartening turn, the Zambian president stated Zambia would order Fugu garments from Ghana. In Madagascar, Cyclone Gazani has left a trail of destruction in its wake. At least 31 people have died and many more are injured as authorities issue alerts across the country for landslides and flooding. The National Office for Risk and Disaster Management pointed to building collapse as one of the main causes of injury and death. Madagascar continues to reel from the devastation of the cyclone, a problem that is regrettably familiar for this island nation located in the Indian Ocean. More details have emerged about the imprisonment of Nobel Peace Laureate Narges Mohammadi in Iran. Mohammadi has been subjected to, quote, life-threatening mistreatment, according to the Norwegian Nobel Committee, which has documented credible reports of her abuse and inhumane treatment, both during her arrest and her detention. The Nobel Committee is appealing to the UN to intervene and to Iranian authorities to cease their actions immediately. Mohammadi is one of Iran's most prominent human rights activists who has been a prisoner for nearly 2 decades. This Sunday saw a historic victory for Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party, which claimed a supermajority in the lower house of Japan's bicameral legislature. Led by Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, the LDP rose to power on a pledge to tackle the cost of living and the price of food. Takaichi continues to distinguish herself from the usual Japanese politics. She advocates revision to Japan's pacifist constitution, backs big government spending, and has rattled its largest neighbor, China, with her definitive stance on Taiwan's independence. Bangladesh held elections for the first time since the longtime leader Sheikh Hasina was removed in August 2024. The country was part of a wave of what the media coined as Gen Z uprisings, where young and disillusioned protesters gathered in defiance or forced government turnover in places like Nepal, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Approximately 127 million citizens were eligible to vote in Bangladesh, and nearly half of those voters were between the ages of 18 and 37. And now back to our own backyard for this final story. Do you ever find yourself singing along to music in the shower? Do you consider yourself a karaoke connoisseur? As part of the Robbins Library Plug-in event series in partnership with the Friends of the Library, community members gathered to sing along to everything from Mary Poppins to K-pop Demon Hunters.
It's a Robbins Library series, and we have a committee where we all get together, the Robbins Library team, our adult services librarian, our teen services librarian, our children's services librarian, and then of course our plug-in person who coordinates our events for older adults, and our Friends of the Robbins Library. And we just thought, what is a truly community-focused, all-ages event that we could put together that would be exciting for individuals, adults, single adults, families, kids, anybody who loves to sing, which is clearly a lot of Arlington because they're coming to the library and singing with us anyway. So we thought, let's put together a community sing in the month of February, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, at each of our locations. I'm pretty tired. I was joking with the group during the event. My Fitbit tells me I have 11,000 steps. So, we had a lot of enthusiasm in the room. Everybody came to sing, which was so much fun. So, very fun event. Some kids here really had a good time. A little young to know all the words, I think, but they were still having a good time dancing around. And all the adults had a great time singing as well. Everybody committed to each song, whether they knew it or not. And just we're here to have a good time.
The idea of community sing is simple. Make a room of neighbors become a lovely chorus. For events like this, make sure you check out the Robbins Library website. Reporting for ACMi News, I'm Josh Gieschry.
As Lara mentioned, if you missed this sing-along event and still want to belt your heart out, the Fox Library is hosting the next Community Sing on Saturday, February 28th at 2 p.m. And that'll do it for this week's edition of ACMi News. Have a story you want us to cover? Know about an upcoming community event? Share your ideas by writing us at the address on the upcoming screen. For ACMi News, I'm James Milan. Thanks for joining us.
You can always check out our latest segments and newscasts on the web at acmi.tv/news. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ACMi News. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You'll find us at youtube.com/ACMi News. If you have any news tips for us or wish to become a citizen journalist, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at news@acmi.tv or stop by ACMI Studio A at 85 Park Avenue.
ACMi productions are only made possible with your support. Visit patreon.com/ACMi to learn how you can help.